This video will learn 3 factors to simplify your dribbling skills. We are the one complicating it, nobody else. As a coach and as a player, I like the simple ones. I don't like when people complicate their dribbling technique, where it just causes more problems and coaches are simply looking for how can you beat the defender one-on-one. And near the end of this video, I'll give you a bonus tip where you'll learn how to improve your instincts. Because instincts plays a massive role when it comes to dribbling. Number 1 factor is your balance. Well, you have to have good balance to be able to determine if you're gonna have a good exit or not. Because if you can't balance yourself, now you're gonna have to play simple. Basically, your balance will determine if you should go for that one-on-one or if you should just simply pull it back and pass it to your teammate. The question is, how can we have a better balance? How can we improve it? A good dribbler always touches the ball as light as possible, using variety of options. Inside of the foot, outside of the foot, the weak foot. So sometimes we get caught losing our balance because we are trying different things to be unpredictable by the opposition. Because you're going into one-on-ones with the opposition, when they touch you, when they push you, or sometimes we make eye contact and not look at the ball and look at the opposition, now we kind of lose our balance. The best way to improve your balance when you're dribbling is to lower your body. Not initially, because as you're approaching to the defender, because you're running at full speed, lower your center of gravity a little bit. But as you get tight to the opposition, now this is when you really need to lower your body. I'm not telling you to go like this, but I'm telling you to kind of be more steady on your feet. So if the opposition touches you, if the opposition pushes you, now you can actually have better balance generally. Because the lower your center of gravity is, the more balance you're gonna have. Also, lowering your body will be able to give you idea where the ball is, because you're closer to the ball and now you have a better vision of seeing the ball. This is one of the reasons why I tell you to keep it simple. Because if you are complicating things, it makes you lose your balance more. So make sure, keep this lowering your body tip in mind, because it's also gonna help you with our 3rd tip as well. When it comes to drills to improve your balance, I prefer you not complicate things. If you have a friend, that's preferable. But if you don't have a friend, just have a single cone. Try to approach to the cone as fast as you can. Don't stop. And as soon as you are getting close to the cone, maybe you are a meter or 2 away from the cone, now you lower your body as you're passing by it. And make sure you stick your arms out, pretend like you're pushing the defender away from you. Number 2 is deceleration. This is exactly why I say we complicate things. I do it too, we all do it. If you don't complicate things, it's gonna be much simpler than it actually looks. So basically, what we're focusing on when I say deceleration is as you're approaching to a defender, reduce your speed. You either come to full stop or you slowly start slowing down. Because the main goal of dribbling is to fool the defenders, right? If it's just simply slowing down or fake passing or fake shooting, you just gotta do everything it takes to beat the defender in front of you. And in my opinion, deceleration is the simplest way that you can beat the defenders and probably the most effective way. Because when you decelerate as you're approaching to a defender, you are killing their forward momentum. So you're killing their intensity. You are basically the one that's dictating what's gonna happen next, rather than how they're gonna push you away or how they wanna position you. Because the most important thing when it comes to dribbling is do not let the defenders dictate what you're gonna do. But don't get confused deceleration by just killing the ball and waiting there for 5 seconds. No, now you killed everyone's momentum. When I say deceleration, as you're approaching to a defender, quickly slow down or stop, maybe half a second or a second maximum. Then immediately, which will be our next step. But before we get to our next step, I'll give you a couple of drills that you can do to improve this deceleration move. The first step, we talked about your balance. Now we are decelerating. So we have the same cone set up. If you have a friend, that's fine. Our goal is to get to the cone as fast as you can and stop about a meter or 2 away from the cone. You might think that it's easy, but it's not that easy. Because as you're slowing down, you're gonna have to take smaller steps with the ball. As you're dribbling, you have better control over the ball. So this is the idea of deceleration. When you slow down, you have to have better control and you have to have lighter touches so your exit can be perfect. Do each of these for 10 minutes. So in total, it'll probably take you 15 to 20 minutes to be able to master this basics of dribbling. And number 3 is of course the acceleration. basically your exit. What you do after you stalled to eliminate the defender. When it comes to the acceleration, we have to connect your balance, we have to connect your deceleration and the acceleration. So now we are at the final step. So basically think of deceleration as your approach and your acceleration as the exit, which is the conclusion. And this is when you can decide, if you master the first two steps, whether if you're gonna fancy it, whether if you're gonna do roulette, whether if you're gonna do elastico, or you can simply just fake pass it, fake shoot it. Those are the simplest ways to dribble around the defender, and in my opinion, the most effective ones. And this is when the decision comes to play as well. How are you gonna exit? How are you gonna exit really depends on what you're capable of. Preferably, you should be able to use your left foot and right foot the same way when it comes to you running with the ball, because this is really gonna fool the defenders, and that is the goal, to dribble. If you don't use your left foot, or if you don't use your right foot, if they're not as good as one another, you are very predictable, and you need to be unpredictable to be able to be a good dribbler. So the main goal is you dictating your next move. The general rule of thumb is about 2 meters away from the defender when you decelerate and when you decide to make your exit. Obviously this is gonna change depending on the circumstances. In case maybe there are 2 defenders instead of 1, and your move might change. Maybe you're gonna be closer when you stop, or you're gonna be further away when you're stopping. When it comes to the drills, we have the same cone set up, or you have a friend and you're running full speed towards the cone and you're stopping or slowing down 2 meters before you approach to the cone. You're gonna focus on your exit. I want you to try to use your left foot or your weak foot to exit. I want you to get used to this, because the better you can do this with your weak foot, you already can do it with your dominant foot. Because goal, as I said, is to be unpredictable. And the better you can do this with your weak foot, the more unpredictable you're gonna be. So now we covered the 3 fundamentals to simple dribbling. We get to our bonus step, which is your anticipation and your instincts. No matter how simple you're keeping your dribbling technique, you still need to have some anticipation and instincts naturally. It's all about faking the opposition, and it's all about anticipating when are they gonna reach to tackle you, or are they gonna reach to tackle you. Because a smart defender ideally will hold back and wait for your move. So I invited a friend to one of my videos, and he is probably one of the best dribblers I know, which you can find the link up here, and I highly recommend you watch that video. And when it comes to the anticipation and instincts, you're either born with it or you work really hard at it. So the simplest and the best way to improve your anticipation and instincts is to be able to use your left foot and right foot, because now you become unpredictable rather than them being unpredictable against you. There are some drills that you can do to improve your anticipation and instincts. You obviously can work with a friend and just game intensity, and you're trying to dribble around your friends, or you can have friends again. I think you're gonna have to have friends to be able to improve this. They can maybe throw balls as you're trying to dribble around these balls that are thrown at you by your friends. Anticipation and instincts means that you just don't know what's gonna come next. If your friends are throwing ball at you and you're trying to avoid hitting the balls that are coming towards you with the ball that you have under your feet, that's gonna be the best way to improve your anticipation and instincts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please drop a like, subscribe to my channel with the notifications on. You can also find my playlist right over here. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.